In our minimalism journey, we have really tried to go through our kids' things as well as our own things. But one area that I want to do more on, and I'm going to start working on today, is the kids' clothes. So stay tuned and we'll be going through that together. Today's one of those days that does not feel like a day for making a YouTube video, but it's one of those things with decluttering. Sometimes the bug just hits you and you've got to do it right now. So I'm not saying that we're going to finish this all today, probably won't, but I wanted to at least get started today and take you along with me. It's really hard with kids' clothes to keep a minimalist wardrobe for them when they're changing sizes so much. Sometimes they'll be finishing out a size in winter clothes and then starting the next size still in winter clothes, but then they're switching over into summer clothes. So it gets really difficult when you're in that toddler age. We're definitely transitioning quite a bit, but not as much as with a baby. So it gets a little better, but it's still quite a transition and a lot of moving parts going on. But as you'll see, we've still got way too much, and it's not even a lot compared to some people, but minimalism isn't about comparing yourself to others, and it's about doing what's right for you and only having the things that you need and simplifying your life to make things easier and more meaningful and to be able to focus on what matters. And for us, what we have is too much. So we're going to start going through that, and I'm just going to take you through and show you what we've got right now. And then I'll be going through and kind of categorizing it and looking at how much I feel like they need in each category as we go through that together. Okay, so right here we've got clothes that have been washed but have not yet been put away. And most of that is boys' clothes and just a little bit of girls' clothes. And then here we've got our socks and underwear drawer, our pajamas, and then kind of accessories. Got some swim clothes in the back, couple train hats, but also underneath there's some ties and belts, things like that. And here's the closet. We were pretty good with keeping it minimal on shoes. And then these two baskets right here are supposed to be mostly play clothes. And then over here is my son's clothes. Got pants in the back, couple jackets, and then mostly these are going to be button-down shirts for worship, and we need probably more than an average person, but probably still have more than we need. So that's what we're working with, and I will be going through and categorizing those things, and I will be back with a list of how much I feel like they need based on different recommendations from various websites. Some of the things I'll be considering as we go through the kids' clothes are things like, what do they actually wear, and what are the things that I wish they wore but they never wear. And also I'll be looking at what things go together. It makes it a lot easier kind of doing that capsule wardrobe idea where you have your shirts and your bottoms that all can mix and match. And so it's a lot easier for them to pick out their own clothes, and then it's also easier when clothes get dirty to still have things that coordinate together, and then you don't end up with pieces that just keep getting unworn. Everything gets mixed and matched and moved around and is pulling its own weight and is worth being in the wardrobe. So that's what we'll be working on. Here's what I'm starting with. We've got socks, shorts, pajamas, underwear, and swim clothes, and then some accessories here. And before I even get into the capsule wardrobe or trying to look at what things coordinate, there's certain things I know I can already pull out. These, I'm not sure if these were my husband's when he was a little boy or if we just got them from somewhere, but they're definitely dated, and so those can go. This is seasonal, and then this was a bow tie that went with a baby outfit, so I'm not sure why it's still in here, but that can definitely go as well. Over here with the socks, we've got 6 of these socks that all go together, which makes it nice to not have to worry about matching all the socks. Then we've got some dress socks, and I know this one is too small, so we can go ahead and take that one out. And then over here we've got about 9 pairs of shorts, and I know this one is too small, and then some of these over here are not in very good condition. It's good to have some that they can just play in and get dirty, but you don't need too many of those. Then we've got train pajamas that we wear all the time, and just 2 swim trunks and a swim shirt. And then, like I said, these seasonal pajamas that we'll be getting rid of. We've also got about 18 pairs of underwear, and I know that's not necessary since we are well past the potty training stage, so we can definitely go through and eliminate some of those. This was just an initial go through and look at what doesn't need to be here, what is worn out, what doesn't fit, what is messed up in some way, and just get rid of that stuff right off the top, and then you can go through a little bit deeper and get into what really needs to stay. It's day 2, and I've sorted and pulled out all the clothes, and we've got 69 items. So I will come back once I have sorted them, and we'll go through that together. I'll review what I've done, but I'm not going to make y'all sit here through the whole thing. This is pretty much where we're at on boy clothes. We've got this stack of things that will be saved in case we have another boy, since we're not done with our family at this point. And this stack is things to get rid of. So we'll let friends go through that before we donate it. This right here is just another stack of things that we are holding on to but moving out of the closet. Now, one thing that you may encounter, depending on what time of the year you do this, as well as what size your child is in, sometimes it's easier to declutter their things and sometimes it's harder. And for me right now, we're kind of in a phase where it's a little bit harder. We're just entering into spring, so it's a great time to go through and clear out all the winter clothes, go through and get everything that's too small, but we're also moving fully into a new size. So there are some things that you'll see I haven't decluttered quite as much as I would like, but that's because we haven't really started wearing everything yet, and I haven't had a chance to see what gets worn and what doesn't get worn. Since we're getting to a point where my kids are starting to have a little bit more of an opinion of what they like and don't like, it'll take me a little while to figure that out. So let's go ahead and go through and see what we have, and I'll show you why I kept what we have. Now, when you look up decluttering kids' clothes online or capsule wardrobes, you'll find different people who have specific numbers of different clothes that they have for their kid. And that's great for them, but depending on what your life looks like, those numbers may or may not fit you. So I found a graphic online that gives you a range of clothes that would be considered minimal for a category, moderate, and then plenty. And so a lot of the categories we do fall in the minimal or the bottom end of moderate, but then there are some categories that we're well above plenty just because of what our life looks like. So we'll go through and look at what we have specifically, and then you can compare that with the numbers, and then that chart I will link to, as well as the picture that I'll be dropping in the video, so that you can see where you fit and give you a range so that you can adjust that to your own situation. Alright, so this is most of the play clothes. As you can see, I try to keep shorts that are pretty basic or can coordinate with multiple shirts. And so a lot of these things can be mixed and matched. Some of these are nicer shorts, some of these are more play shorts. But I feel like this is a pretty good number of shorts as well as t-shirts. And I keep these down in this bottom basket here that's empty so that we can pull those out at any time. I don't have to worry about what he's grabbing. We've got a pair of rain boots there on the left, and then some tennis shoes as well as some dress shoes, and then the ones in the middle are his tennis shoes that he's wearing right now. And as we're going into summer, we just bought some sandals, and so I feel like that covers all our bases as far as what he needs for shoes. Alright, now up here, this is what will look different for different people. I've got our pants over here, and I feel like this covers everything we need. We've got gray dress pants, navy, khaki, as well as one pair of jeans. I still have one jacket just in case we need it, And then here I've got our long sleeve dress shirts. Now for a lot of people, this is going to be way too many. When you look in the graphic, like 1 or 2 is considered enough. But for us, since we attend worship Sunday morning, Sunday night, and Wednesday night, we will definitely go through all of these and use all of these at different points. And so our need is greater than some people's needs. Also, since we're in Texas, we want to be sure and have some short sleeve options. Now, this is where new size and new season really kind of gets me. I haven't been able to reduce the short sleeve shirts much more than this, and so there's about, I think, 11. And so that's definitely a lot more than we need, but at this point, I'm not sure which ones are going to be worn and which ones aren't. And so as we go through and see what we don't need, we will be limiting that and paring those down. This is just to give you an idea of our numbers on our different shirts. I think that's those 13 casual shirts. I think I did move a couple of the casual ones to actually play shirts. But you can see where we had way too many underwear, and we were able to narrow that down. Look at those socks, 20 pairs of socks. Definitely more than anybody needs. So we have reduced quite a bit, and this is where we're going to be for right now, and we'll see if that changes at all. But I feel like that's a pretty good place to start, and it's pretty reasonable. Now, I know what we have is not technically minimalist when you look at other people who are more true minimalists, but our goal is to reduce what we have, only have what we need. And I feel like sometimes the people that I know, at least, we want to have less, we want to have a more decluttered house, be more intentional with what we have, but true minimalism is kind of a little too strict for what we're wanting, and we want something that's just a little bit easier to grasp and a little bit more attainable. And so what I've done here is kind of give you a guide of reducing, but also keeping it reasonable and being able to adjust it to wherever you are in your journey towards minimalism, or just trying to get things under control and have a reasonable amount of things in your home. So that's our video on decluttering kids' clothes, specifically for boys. And my next video will be going through my daughter's clothes. And so that one should be up pretty soon. Thanks for checking us out. If you like these kind of videos, give it a thumbs up and be sure and subscribe below to stay up to date with everything that we're doing. Bye.